We can cross over to DW correspondent Stella Mena, who is in the Syrian capital, Damascus. Stella, Mohammed al-Bashir has been appointed as a transitional prime minister. Can you tell us more about the man, who he is, and how Syrians have been reacting to this news?
Yes, so before al-Bashir became the new prime minister, he headed the Syrian Salvation Government in Idlib. There he was also the Minister of Development and Humanitarian Affairs. So he does have some experience in politics, and he's also has very close ties with HTS. But before, he was not well known in Syria outside of Idlib. And from his original profession, he's an engineer, and he worked for many years for the Syrian gas company. So to the people I spoke with, I hear mixed feeling. On one hand, people are extremely happy that things seem to move forward. We really have to understand the situation here right now for Syrians. The rules that have been in place for many, many years are suddenly not there anymore. From one night to another, the rules are gone and nobody really knows what's happening. So there's really a big wish here for the people for clarity. So they are happy that this is moving forward, but they also have some concerns that it's not moving into a better direction.
What more do we know about the other members of this interim government, who he's going to be working with?
So the government is still in the formation process, but al-Bashir has already made some promises and has already gave some hints in which political directions this could lead. He said that, or he made the promise that there will be rights for all Syrian. He also said that one goal will be to establish a free market inside of Syria based on the model of competition, and that he also wants to reconnect Syria to the global market. This would be a huge issue for Syria, as it has been isolated for many, many years. There were also strict regulations on import and export. So this would really help Syria to rebuild the economy.
The challenges facing Syria, though, are immense, aren't they? Obviously, the country has a long journey towards economic recovery. So this interim government really does not have an easy ride ahead of it, does it?
Yes, indeed. There are a lot of challenges lying ahead for the new government. Apart from the economic challenges and the rebuilding of the economy here in the country that I just mentioned, there's also the security situation that remains very volatile. There are many conflicts inside of Syria that need to be solved. For once, there is also the conflict with Israel. The Israeli army has targeted 480 targets within the last 48 hours. So this is an open conflict. There's also the worry that the Israeli troops might advance further into Syrian territory, even though the army denies this claim. And there are also conflicts within the country itself. We have, for example, the conflict of the SNA, who is currently fighting against the Kurds in the north. Today, they have announced a ceasefire, but we don't know whether this is going to last.
DW Stella Mena reporting from Damascus. Stella, thanks so much for bringing us up to date there. Sinem Ada is an expert on Turkey and joins us now from the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. Sinem, welcome to DW. Would it be right to call Recep Tayyip Erdogan the kingmaker of HTS?
I think it would be fair to say that Turkey has gained an opportunity to expand its influence in Syria as a result of the fall of Assad regime. I am not 100% sure whether this short-term gain would necessarily be translated into gains in the mid and long term, because the challenges are huge, starting with the in which direction the political transformation would evolve, but also the dynamics among different local groups, be it between the HTS and Turkey-controlled SNA, be it between the HTS and Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, and be it also between now possibly Turkey and other external actors who are on the ground in Syria. So I think it's still too early to make make a judgment about the exact influence that Ankara might have gained or gained as a result of the very rapidly unfolding events since November 27 in Syria.
Can you be more specific about the risks that are now facing Turkey and Recep Tayyip Erdogan?
For one, HTS, Turkey had close relations with HTS, but at the end of the day, HTS is an actor in and by itself. Therefore, and Turkey had leverage over HTS when HTS controlled Idlib, but now HTS controlling a larger amount of territory. I'm not sure how that leverage would work around and whether also the direction of the leverage would change. Secondly, I think in the coming months, we will be observing various tactical arrangements between local actors on the ground as they will strive to consolidate and perhaps also expand their control over territory, means of violence and resources. And here the two key actors would be the HTS and the YPG-led SDF, and Turkey considers YPG as an extension of PKK, which it considers as a terrorist organization. So here too, I think it's still too uncertain how the relationship between these two actors would evolve. So these would be only the two kind of political aspects, which would be risk factors or factors of challenge for Ankara.
So given that there are risks for Turkey, is that why it's essentially denying its involvement in this rebel-led offensive?
I mean, I'm not sure whether that's why the official statements coming from Ankara put the main emphasis on the local actors. I think there's a partial truth in that. But of course, it would be naive to, given the close relations of Turkey with both HTS and SNA, it would be naive to think that it was not coordinated with Turkey. But I'm not sure whether it was completely controlled and planned by Turkey, especially because of the pace of the events. And if you actually listen to the statements coming from different government officials, and particularly the statement that President Erdogan gave after Friday prayers last week, a lot of focus went on the first sentence of the statement where he was celebrating the rebels' gains. But at the very end of the statement, he says something that I thought was very interesting. He said, in a way, what he said indicated a certain level of unrest, caution within Ankara about the pace of the events. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the exact words were, the events are unfolding in a way that we didn't expect. So that kind of makes me think that even though the moment provides Ankara definitely with the opportunity to expand its influence in Syria, it also happened, I think, much faster than anyone expected, including Ankara.
Sinem Adda from the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. We'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much for your analysis.
Thank you.